Hey, 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 Laura J. wanting to say I've got an announcement. On March 1st, we are officially going to be having a writing challenge. It will be a 21-day writing challenge where you're going to learn to tell your story from the blossom of what you learned from the experience that became like a lesson or a wound or a bulb that was planted and buried underground. And culturally, it has become so iconic to say, when you buried me, you didn't know I was a seed. I needed that dirt in order to break through to the next level. And so now, what I propose is that we actually acknowledge what is real. And we recognize the counterfeit versions of all things are the counterfeits. Fiats being spoken orations, public orations. Well, I think it's high time that we understand that high and low languages are the serpent's tongue of diglossa. And when we diglossa, we gloss over because we don't understand and we just don't want to go there. It's crazy. So, what we really need to see is who we are connected to. And the way that we do that is to come together. We learn together, we grow together. We stop connecting on the meat market type premise of looking for somebody to mate with. For instance, being the most common cause to get people out of their comfort zone to actually dare to try connecting in a new capacity or way. Well, I say it is time for us to understand the difference between capacity, status, and having standing, and why we have this stand in a courtroom that you stand on because your standing is diminished when you take on a title or label that changes your identity to be a one-dimensional box of identity that invites entities in when you check it and say, that is me. The sin of tax, the syntax of meaning applied to words being the terms and conditions, that one-dimensional box limits me and brings me into a two-dimensional counterfeit version of reality that is corporate in nature. For everyone in it must act on behalf of that which they are asked to pretend to be with the profile or account that was made in the image and likeness of the boxes that were ticked. X marks the spot. X is a full signature. So when it appears before the signature own line risk of the signature line, well, you'll find you really need to be careful, full of care, about who you allow to have their X there. Because the closer you are to your X's, well, that is where the hexes and vexes come into the frame because you are deemed insane and incompetent, incapable of caring for your own affairs, your own house. You are deemed incompetent, unable to claim the first person office of man of competent capacity, which means that you will automatically be denoted, demoted. You will lose status, standing, or capacity in a diminishment of status that reflects capitis diminutio, minima, maxima, and media. Media being the way the legacy media have been used to promote a public relations campaign that reflects a PR-ism that keeps us bound in victimhood. And I say, enough of that, my friends. It is time for us to come together and do the seemingly impossible by bringing the I am possible back into the frame. I want you to understand how insane it is that we have been taken by the story of Jesus, who is an I in space shy of je suis en français, which is when I see that I am no longer in my proper capacity as a woman of capable competence to manage my own house because I have a live-in trust. A live-in trust means that I know what I'm wanting to do while I am living with what I got and with whom. I would want to have it if I wasn't here. That's responsible. Well, we as proper authorities over the estate that is what is ours in this life then have professionals who are trustees, and those that we trust to look after what is ours if we are not there to do it for ourselves. It's the difference between the Se Qui Vi or Sati Qui Vi Trust Act and the Sati Qui Vi, no V, Satika Trust, which doesn't have the V because the V is of the living and then the decedent is of the dead, which is the corporate. We also then have a third account, which is the special needs account. The special needs trust is actually where we see that our legal person, substitute person, or statutory person is the account holder of this third person office. And what that means is that when we are acting from that place, we are the ones paying for the ship to go on the trip. I get a thanks from a significant woman in that moment as I look at the highway to heaven. That's not what it's called, by Led Zeppelin. And it's a highway to heaven. Oh, I mixed that up because I didn't want to go to hell. I say no, it is not what I want to do with my time, energy, effort, attention, my money. That's my team, and I don't mean to have been squandering it. Now I remember I got soup on, so I better go down and see what's going on down there. And I want you to share what you got from this and what it means to you and how you'll use it. That's what others can say. So it's true that I'm gonna do what I need to, and I hope you do too, because if you don't, then who will? It's your life, and that we must be the ones who knew best for us, because we trusted ourselves to care for us. You can do it, whether you believe it or not. You're correct, it's true. Don't neglect you. You matter to us all. Namaste, namago for today, love a day.